This enchanted love of ours.
There is no truth until you decide what truth is, and each person should find that truth out for his or herself.
This enchanted love of ours. This enchanted love of ours.
Know what? Global family, look in the mirror. I want you to take a good look. You are the champion, the hero of your story. No matter how much praise you may give some of us who may help you on this journey, it is you who has to walk it. We are only a catalyst to help you see.
Antonio, again, I give you accolades for, I don't even know what to say, for all the efforts, man, that you put in my behalf.
There is no truth until you decide what truth is.
It is you who has to walk it. We are only a catalyst to help you see.
Person should find that truth out for his or herself.
To help you see.
For his or herself.
A massive underwater interest has been discovered off the Malibu, California coast. Okay, so coast at Point Dume or Dume, which appears to be the holy grail of UFO, USO researchers that have been looking for it over the last 40 years. So I'll give you all an example where it's at. Okay, so you can see here where it's at. Let's zoom out here. Okay, so you all see where it's at there on the map. So it's near Los Angeles, Santa Monica, actually. Yeah. Let's turn the satellite image on there. Yep, there it is there. Okay. Interesting. So let's go back to it. So it gets into some numbers. The plateau structure is 1.35 miles by 2.45 miles wide. Okay, so they call it this structure. Okay, 6.66. Okay, here we go. 666.
You think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it.
All right, so 666 miles from land, and the interest between the support pillars is 2,745 feet wide and 630 feet tall. Okay, so it also has what looks like a total nuclear bomb-proof ceiling that is 500 feet thick. The discovery was made by Maxwell, Dale, Romero, and Jimmy Church. Host, okay. So the underwater base has been a mystery for many years, with hundreds of UFO, USO sightings, many with photographs, but the interest of the base has remained elusive until now. The interest can support nuclear-sized submarines and massive UFO, USO activity, and allow access to different military installations that are inside the U.S., such as China Lake Naval Base, that is in the middle of the Mojave Desert, and the Naval Undersea Warfare Center in Hawthorne, Nevada, between Las Vegas and Reno. In the photographs, you can see its relation to the coastline. Los Angeles and its natural surroundings, which do not match up with the structure itself, which is massive in scale. The support pillars, as you see here, which you're gonna here, you see here. So as you see here, these are like support pillars that he's talking about. Let's zoom in. All right, so you also see it there on the screen. So he's saying that these are support pillars here, and it does look interesting, right? And so really, when you see pictures, right? I was telling a caller who calls all the time, and I was like, man, pictures be sometimes it's very difficult to see the scale of something by just pictures and stuff like that, right? But look, these are mountains and things in the background, right? And this is like cities and stuff all over here, stuff like that, right? Well, especially over there, back over here, right? So Look how big this is. This is absolutely then humongous. Okay, so that's very interesting. Let's go back here. Okay, so the support pillars to the entrance are over 600 feet tall. Malibu, California is known the world over for its scenic beauty and as the playground of the rich and famous. Few people know that it is also the land of UFOs. I see that some of us here need to venture out, take a boat out there, get some scuba diving equipment, and see what's there. You know, this is interesting. As many of you know, people talk things, but of course, here at the Meta Center, we actually go out and do things. Like people put up articles like this, and everybody go, "Oh, this and that." Okay, why don't you go out there and see? I mean, what are you afraid of? I mean, it's only a sandbox here, so what are you afraid of? Go have fun, right? All right. So here's some other pictures here. There's another picture there of the huge plateau. So this is from a different angle here. And you will also think that it's not too far off the coast, right? That's the coast there. That's what pictures do, right? So that's the coast there. You wouldn't think it was that far, but this is miles off the coast. Okay. Another picture there. All right. So very interesting. It does look like something, right? Like, things in multiple roles like this being straight, it kind of brings up the spidey sense, like, that looks like something man-made or something. Okay. It even like, it's like a crest around here, there. Got this big hole here in multiple, but that one there looks like most definitely open for something to go in and out. Very, very, very interesting. So let's continue on here. In the late 1950s, okay, so in the late 1950s, as my neighbor and some of his friends were watching the sun setting on the Pacific Ocean, they witnessed 3 bright UFOs fly across the water at great speed, then hover for a few minutes over the Santa Monica Mountains before flying off out of sight. All right. Okay, so I'll go to this other one here, what this other one says. A little more than 6 miles. Of course, we read it 6.66 miles. 666.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it.
Hate it.
All right, so a little more than 6 miles off the coast of Point Dume, Malibu, California, an unusual looking structure sits on the seabed floor. Based on images obtained from Google Earth, the oval-shaped object has a huge flat top and would appear to be pillars or columns that seem to reveal the entrance to a darker inner place. The anomaly, for the moment, we'll call it that, is approximately 2,000 feet up below the surface of the water. Okay, so wow, is that deep? See, that's the thing too. Again, when looking at this stuff, you can't really tell, but is that deep? Okay, so scuba diving may not be a thing there. So it's really deep in the water. Okay, and out there, a few miles out there, right? So you see here, 6 miles off the coast. So it's 6.666 or 6.66. 666.
Hate it.
All right. So anyways, let's see here. So it's 6 miles off the coast and approximately 2,000 feet below the water. Okay, in the water. So that's pretty deep and out there. Measuring nearly 3 miles wide. I mean, that's huge. What exactly is this thing? Oh, well, it's either a base, or more so an ancient base that has been refitted. According to the website of the California-based radio program Fade to Black, this may be the Holy Grail. Okay, I already mentioned that. Let's see here. I needed him to find a way to get it under and above the water, Church said. My first impression was that it was Greek. It looked artificial and didn't look natural. When you are looking at it from above, it's nearly a perfect oval shape, Church continued. In the natural surroundings, nothing is symmetrical. Everything is eroded and covered in rocks and sloping and peaking. And right here for 2 miles, it is a perfect oval with a black separation or outline to it. It just stands out that it has to be some type of roof. It's not like unlike a doomed stadium or a covered indoor racetrack or an Olympic arena. It's got that feel to it. It looks like a perfect oval man-made structure sitting on a construction site. Using the Google coordinates, which are, by the way, you see there, church and let's see here. Okay, came up with a series of images starting from the due south, looking north, all the way around and ending up at due north, looking back south. All right, so of course, let's see here. Let's put these coordinates into Google Maps so we can see it directly. Because it's somewhere, it got to be somewhere in this area right here that we're looking at even right now. As unusual as this anomaly appears, is alien UFO based the only realistic explanation for it? I didn't see anything special about it. I think it's because it looks like there's a flat surface, and then below it, it looks like there are these vertical columns. So somebody can say, "Oh, this is the entryway to something special," said earthquake geologist David Shaw. They always do that, right? They always do that. So geologist, are you a top in your field? Yes, I am. I am the top geologist in my field. Okay, cool. Does this look normal to you? What is this? What could this potentially be? Oh, I didn't see anything special about it. Nope, not one thing at all. That's when you know it's something special about it. See, when they say stuff like that, then you know it's something special about it, right? But okay, let's go back into form. I didn't see anything special about it. I think it is because it looks like there's a flat surface, and then below it, it looks like there's vertical columns. So somebody could say, "Oh, this is the entryway to something special," but it's nothing special at all. There's nothing to see here. All right. I think it's natural. It is part of the continental shelf. Schwartz told Huffington Post. It's just a complicated part of what's now offshore that has seen some erosion. It may be slumping when perhaps this was partially exposed when the sea level was lower. This is really a major earthquake area, and perhaps some of these features are a result of slope failures due to shaking. Okay. There's no flag under the water that says, "I'm an entrance to an alien base." There's nothing unnatural looking about it. It's just showing some sort of variation in the offshore coastal morphology, Short said. So Short shared with Huffington Post a research paper published in 2009 by the Geological Society of America, showing cross sections of an anomaly area designated as Sycamore Knoll by those who actually studied this underwater region. The following images from that paper, if you look to the left of the middle of the illustration, you can clearly see the oval-shaped anomaly. Some refer to it as an underwater UFO base. This is interpreted as a thrust fault, Short said, meaning one side of the crust moves up over the other, and what we're looking at is interpreted as being the surface expression of the Dumé thrust, which is part of the large fault system in Southern California. The bottom line, he added, the bottom line that you better recognize is that people have recognized this. Okay. Case closed. There's nothing more to see. Keep watching CNN and eating your Chick-fil-A and drinking your fluoridated water. All right. So could that be the final truth of what this object is? Huffington Post reached out to John Anthony West, an independent Egyptologist who won an Emmy Award for the research for the 1993 NBC documentary, Mystery of the Sphinx, in which he and geologist Robert Solch presented evidence that the Great Sphinx of Giza may be thousands of years old than previously thought. West examined the images of Malibu underwater object. The pictures are a bit misleading in that it looks as though it's on the shore, West told Huffington Post. My first reaction, knowing that it was 2,000 feet underwater, was that under no circumstances could it, in fact, be artificial, man-made.
Hate it.
And I have enough experience. You have to excuse me. I'm sorry. I have enough experience, okay, looking at geology and distinguishing between what could perhaps be artificial, and then there's sort of gray area in between. As far as I'm concerned, there's no gray area.
Hate it.
Case closed, okay? Case absolutely closed. There's nothing to see here. Go back to drinking your water and your, having drag queens come to your school and they could tell you about the benefits of being in that life and to the children and stuff. Okay, that's what you need to go see and sit down and experience, not questioning anything like this at all, because there's nothing at all to see. It is totally natural.
Hate it.
Case closed. So anyhow, this is so ridiculous. See, I did all that because, of course, I'm acting ridiculous here, obviously. All right. And I'm doing that because this is ridiculous. Okay. Maybe it's just me, but this is absolutely ridiculous. They're treating people as if they're children. Are you a child? Do you see anything strange here at all? I mean, yes, people here, I do know what many of you all do. And none of you told me you were a geologist or anything like that. But still, again, they're telling you not to see with your eyes. And they said that it's a collapse this and collapse that and all this other stuff. And they know best. It's nothing. Absolutely. You understand me? It's absolutely nothing to see here. Case closed. So that looks very strange there to me. Okay, this is something that we will dispatch an observer to go see, because something's very odd about this structure here. Okay, if this image is not manipulated at all, and this is exactly how it looked when the person took the image, okay, that looks a little strange. It most definitely looks like some type of installation, okay, where something could be or would have been there. Okay, and so could this be again for a USO? Who knows? It could just be literally military. But then, when was it built? Okay, it had to be built more than likely when the ocean wasn't there. So then that goes into a deeper aspect of things. Say, okay, if it wasn't built when the ocean wasn't there, that had to be quite a long time ago. Then, yeah, before the waters came from above and below. That is true. Okay, but they would never say that, because then that gets you looking into a different direction than them. Okay, so instead of that, then it becomes, okay, if it's that ancient, then who built it? Oh, okay. And why is it so big then? Because this is huge then, right? So it's ceiling, the column from the floor to the ceiling, 500 feet tall. So, I mean, that's huge. Okay, so why would something so large like that be built, and by whom, and for what purpose? Okay, is this, or maybe was this an ancient whole temple going into the inner earth or something? I mean, I don't know. I'm speculating here. Okay, but my speculations, to me anyway, seem a bit more plausible than these two geologists who say, absolutely, that's completely natural right there. Okay,
Hate it.
case closed. Okay, so let's continue on here. Okay, so remember, he had enough experience. Wes, let's see here. I remember also, just to reiterate, as far as I'm concerned, there is no gray area. Case closed. So Wes says he's inclined to go. He says he's inclined to go along with the geological explanation. It doesn't look at all man-made. Okay, it has what looks like pillars there, but they are unevenly spaced. And then to the right, you see other seemingly pillars still attached, actually to the bedrock, in the process of forming. And West acknowledges unidentified flying objects. I'm convinced that, I don't know why I keep changing my voice here, but let's go along with it, everyone. Okay. So I'm convinced that UFOs are reality.
Sorry, Tony, you're cracking me up. I'm having fun with it.
That's what's up. How you feeling, Daryl?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm well.
I've been laughing for a minute. I don't know where you get these tips from, but they are hilarious. They right on time, and how you changing your voice and reading and narrative is just right on time. I hope other people get your humor like I am.
That's what's up. I do appreciate your presence. I'm glad that you're here to be a part of this escapade that we are on currently. Okay.
Yes,
so let's see here. Let's continue on, everyone. And shout out to everyone who I did not say your name. I like to always acknowledge everyone here, but I have my screen off to the side, so I cannot see who's part of the Zoom chat here, and also I cannot see those who are on the YouTube side. So again, I hope everyone's doing well within your space and time. And shout out to everybody on YouTube. Hope everybody's doing well over there. So let's continue on, everyone. All right. So there's too much evidence out there. Beyond that, we don't know anything. I mean, oh man, this is why we do what we do, right? This is why we did the space project. Okay. So, because we just keep doing this stuff, right? And I understand again that sometimes this stuff may be a bit overbearing or just a bit problematic to those who have not seen really what reality is. They have not opened their eyes, and so when the brightness of truth, right, starts to peer through, hit their that slit in their eyes. Their eye is opening. That brightness can be it can hurt. Okay, and I get that. I do understand. Okay, but we are at a time where things are speeding up. How many here? Let's do a poll here real quick. Okay, type 1 in the chat room. Okay. Now I don't want you doing it just because I'm asking you to do it as far as to answer in the affirmative, but put 1 in the chat room if it seems to you that time is speeding up. Okay. If you have been experiencing it to the point where you are acknowledging it, like, oh man, time seems to be going faster. What is happening? Hit 1 in the chat room. Okay. So on the Zoom side, pretty much everyone has been putting in tons of ones. Okay. So also the YouTube side is about maybe about a minute or so behind us. So for those on the YouTube side, hit 1 as well. I am looking at it. So we can acknowledge that this is not coincidental. Oh man, y'all just made me think of this. See, this is why I love the conversations that we have, because it actually brings up other thoughts. We're going to talk about the Mandela effect. Okay. So I'm going to bring that up so I don't forget. We're going to bring up the Mandela effect, and we're going to go a little bit into this, and because I have some speculations, okay, concerning what's been happening around us. So I'm going to go to Google real quick here, just so as a reminder to myself, Mandela effect. Okay, and there's reasons why I'm going to show you this. I'm going to talk about this. Okay, I'm also going to talk about CERN. Okay, let's put in CERN. Okay, so this is CERN here. Okay, there's some examples of CERN there. Okay, so we're going to come back to that. So we don't know who they are. Okay, so let's see here. I'm convinced UFOs are a reality. There's too much evidence out there. Okay, so there's too much evidence for UFOs. Okay, and typically when people think of UFOs, they tend to think of space aliens, but space aliens, this is an unidentified flying object. It doesn't mean a space alien at all, what you people call space. Space is fake. Okay, anyway, those who here are in the know, who come to the events and stuff, so many things. But anyhow, with that, let's go up here real quick. So, okay, so I'm convinced UFOs are a reality, right? And yet, when you see something like this, I mean, adamantly, that's absolutely nothing at all. There's nothing to see here, folks.
Hey, Vince.
Case closed. Okay, don't look in that direction at all. The case has been closed. Okay, so there's too much evidence out there again for UFOs. Beyond that, we don't know anything. Okay, anything at all. I mean, these people at times act so arrogant. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying that this person here is a draconian. Okay, I'm not saying that whatsoever. But you really see that a lot with draconians, right? They act so arrogant all the time. right? But then when it comes to something like this, oh well, we don't know what that is. All of a sudden now they tend to go, but absolutely, we know it's absolutely not that. So anytime you hear that, you know it's the opposite. Okay, just a tip for you all out there. So we don't know who they are, why they are here. Yeah, sure. Or how much of this stuff is our own government. A point beyond that is that anything that isn't explained or that can't be explained by our current scientific methods automatically is aliens. No, only a childish mind will say that. But let's continue on. It is the explanation of last resort, and I just don't buy that. Also weighing in on the Malibu mystery is former FBI special agent Ben Hansen. Ben Hansen? That sounds like the guy from To Catch a Predator. Let's see. Who's the guy who catched the Predator? Let's see here. That was by Chris Hansen. And he was like, yeah, Chris Hansen. Okay. So that's Chris Hansen there. I'm sorry, y'all. This is a sidebar. Okay. We flowing. We just flowing with it. Okay. We just going all in. Okay. We got all the metaphysical minds on deck, and we're just going in here. All right. So let's see here. All right. Uh-oh.
On singular, now is your chance. Show them your power.
Okay, you call for it. Let's go deeper here. So, all right. So FBI Special Agent Ben Hansen. Let's see here.
Now we can do this the easy way, or we can do it the hard way. The choice is yours.
All right. So who has an extensive background investigating and analyzing questionable pictures and videos, Hansen supplied Huffington Post with the following Google Earth image of the underwater object in question, which looks, of course, totally different than, of course, we've seen this one here. Okay, that's it right there. Of course, there's like the pillars there, and it's like a doorway split there, but it looks a little different from the angle. So, let's see here. Okay, so he supplied the underwater image there. He says this was taken from a different angle of the mysterious base, Hansen told HuffPost in an email. The dark areas that people are saying look like the inside of a base really starts to look just like shading of indentations to the shelf, and the pillars are now represented as jagged edges. Okay, I mean, you all are so sure of what things are and what they appear. Why don't you just send them down there? Show us. Okay. Just like I want to see a picture of Earth. Beyond, of course, we have a picture of Earth. Okay. But I want to see them supply an actual picture of Earth. Case closed. So Hansen cautions about how we interpret things we see on Google Earth. Google Earth obtains their underwater data from several different sources, including satellite radar and echo sonar from the Navy, NOAA, and NASA. Dr. Blair used to call this NASA never a straight answer.
Comatose, dumbed down, brainwashed, vaccinated, inoculated, and encrypted.
Yeah, it seems that for people to still believe what these people say. But in other agencies, because they often use very different technologies, the derived information isn't always going to agree. When it doesn't, Google relies on its automatic 3D auto generation programs to make sense of it. We are dealing with limited information to render the graphic because we can see it. Okay, we to render the graphic because we can see it evidence in the disparity of image quality between the anomaly and the areas immediately surrounding it, Hansen added. The blurry sections and jagged edges obviously suggest a patchwork of image processing has taken place. Okay, so his angle is that it seems like this is a manipulated photo by the Google AI.
Hate it.
In the end, we are left with a variety of theories to explain the Malibu anomaly, aka Sycamore Knoll. Will the UFO alien underwater base proponents be eventually proven right, leaving geologists in the deep blue dust, scratching their heads and wondering how they got it wrong? West concedes the possibility that the object could be an entrance of sorts, in the same way that the action of moving water can form caves below the surface. There's no big mystery to this thing. 2,000 feet under the sea in terms of it being an interest, Wes said. Of course, until you get a camera there, you don't know where the interest is leading. I'd hazard a guess that it doesn't go in too far. And if they did get it in there, I think the chances are that they're not going to find the lost treasures of Atlantis. That's very interesting to say to that be your rebuttal or your agitated response. Okay, so I'm going to repeat that. There's no big mystery to this thing 2,000 feet under the sea in terms of it being an interest, Wes said. Of course, until you get a camera there, you don't know where the interest is leading. I'd hazard a guess, of course he's going to guess, okay, that it doesn't go in too far. And if they do get it in there, I think the chances are they are not going to find the lost treasures of Atlantis. So also being cynical and dismissive, and I would say quite disrespectful. Okay, so personally. But in the end, what does this article really summarize? If we were to say the overall response from all of these experts from across the field, case closed. Okay, so everyone, case has been closed. Let's move on.
This enchanted love of ours.
There is no truth until you decide what truth is, and each person should find that truth out for his or herself.
This enchanted love of ours. This enchanted love of ours.
Know what? Global family, look in the mirror. I want you to take a good look. You are the champion, the hero of your story. No matter how much praise you may give some of us who may help you on this journey, it is you who has to walk it. We are only a catalyst to help you see.
Tony, again, I give you accolades for, I don't even know what to say, for all the efforts, man, that you put in my behalf.
There is no truth until you decide what truth is.
It is you who has to walk it. We are only a catalyst to help you see.
Person should find that truth out for his or herself.
To help you see.
For his or herself.